Hey there, fellow soil warriors, it's your soil sensei here, and today we're diving into one of the most heartbreaking yet hopeful topics in gardening, bringing dead soil back to life. You know that feeling when you dig into your garden bed and hit what feels like concrete? Or when you plant something with all the love in the world, only to watch it struggle and fade? I've been there, and I'm here to tell you that even the most lifeless, compacted, nutrient-depleted soil can be transformed into a thriving ecosystem that'll make your plants dance with joy. Before we roll up our sleeves and get to work, let's talk about what we're actually dealing with. Dead soil isn't just dirt that looks bad, it's an ecosystem that's lost its biological activity. When I first started gardening, I thought soil was just, well, soil. But here's the truth that changed everything for me. Healthy soil is absolutely teeming with life. We're talking billions of microorganisms in just a handful of earth, working together in an intricate web that feeds your plants. Dead soil lacks this biological diversity. It's often compacted from heavy foot traffic or machinery, stripped of organic matter, and has a pH that's gone completely haywire. The structure breaks down, creating either rock-hard clay that water can't penetrate or sandy soil that drains so fast your plants are constantly thirsty. But here's the beautiful thing. Soil wants to be alive, it's just waiting for us to create the right conditions. The first step in soil resurrection is addressing the physical structure, and this is where many gardeners make crucial mistakes. You might be tempted to just add compost and call it a day, but if your soil is severely compacted, those nutrients won't go anywhere. Start by checking your drainage. Dig a hole about a foot deep and fill it with water. If water is still sitting there after 24 hours, you've got drainage issues that need immediate attention. For compacted clay soil, I recommend what I call the gentle disruption method. Use a broad fork or deep cultivating tool to create vertical channels without turning the soil upside down. This preserves any existing soil structure while creating pathways for air, water, and roots. For sandy soils that drain too quickly, the approach is different. These soils need binding agents, organic matter that helps hold moisture and nutrients. But don't just dump compost on top and hope for the best. Work it into the top 6 to 8 inches, creating a gradual transition zone that helps retain moisture while still allowing proper drainage. Now we get to the real magic feeding your soil's biological community. Organic matter is like a superfood buffet for soil microorganisms, but not all organic matter is created equal, and timing matters more than you might think. Fresh organic matter like kitchen scraps or green lawn clippings can actually tie up nitrogen as they decompose, leaving your plants hungry. Instead, focus on well-aged compost, leaf mold, and composted manure. These materials have already gone through their initial decomposition phase and are ready to feed your soil biology immediately. Here's a technique I learned from an old-timer that's never failed me. Create compost layers directly in your garden beds. In fall, lay down a thick layer of leaves, add some finished compost, then cover with straw or shredded paper. By spring you'll have a living, breathing soil amendment that's been custom-made by your local microorganisms. This method works because it mimics what happens naturally in forests, layers of organic matter slowly decomposing and feeding the soil community. This is where things get really exciting. Healthy soil is like a bustling underground city with bacteria, fungi, protozoa, and countless other organisms all playing their part. When soil dies, this community collapses, but we can rebuild it faster than you might think. Mycorrhizal fungi are your secret weapons here. These incredible organisms form symbiotic relationships with plant roots, extending their reach for nutrients while receiving sugars in return. You can purchase mycorrhizal inoculants, but I've found that simply adding wood chips and avoiding soil disturbance encourages native fungi to return naturally. Compost tea is another game changer that's often misunderstood. Real compost tea isn't just compost soaked in water, it's an actively brewed biological soup that multiplies beneficial microorganisms. Use a simple aquarium pump to aerate high-quality compost in water for 24 to 48 hours, and you'll create a liquid teeming with soil life. Apply this to your soil regularly, and you'll see the biology explode back to life. Soil pH affects everything: nutrient availability, microbial activity, and plant health. Most dead soils have pH issues, either too acidic from acid rain and organic matter breakdown, or too alkaline from lime applications or natural soil conditions. But here's what many gardeners get wrong. You don't fix pH overnight with massive amendments. Sudden pH changes can shock your soil biology and actually set you back. Instead, use organic methods that gradually adjust pH while feeding soil life. Compost naturally buffers pH, bringing it toward neutral over time. For acidic soils, add compost and aged manure. For alkaline soils, sulfur-rich organic matter like composted pine needles works wonders. Test your pH every few months during the revival process, but don't panic if changes seem slow. Healthy soil biology actually helps buffer pH naturally, so as your soil comes alive, pH problems often resolve themselves. Soil revival isn't an instant process, and this is where many gardeners get discouraged. I've seen people give up after a few weeks when they don't see dramatic changes, but soil biology works on a different timeline than we do. In my experience, you'll start seeing improvements in soil structure within 4 to 6 weeks of starting your revival program. The soil will feel different, less compacted, more crumbly. At 3 to 4 months, plant growth noticeably improves as nutrients become more available. But the real magic happens after a full growing season, when your soil has gone through complete seasonal cycles and the biological community has fully established. During this process, resist the urge to dig and check on things constantly. Soil biology needs stability to flourish. Make your amendments, plant your cover crops, and then let nature do its work. Once you've brought your soil back to life, maintaining that vitality becomes much easier, but it does require ongoing attention. Think of soil health like physical fitness. It's easier to maintain than to rebuild, but you can't just stop and expect things to stay perfect. Continuous organic matter addition is key, but it doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. Grass clippings, fallen leaves, kitchen scraps, all of these can feed your soil biology. The key is consistency rather than massive applications. Cover crops are absolute game changers for long-term soil health. Even in small garden spaces, you can use fast-growing crops like buckwheat or crimson clover to keep your soil biology fed between growing seasons. These living roots pump sugars into the soil, keeping your microbial community active and healthy. There you have it, soil warriors, your complete guide to bringing dead soil back to life. Remember, every healthy garden started with someone who believed that lifeless dirt could become a thriving ecosystem. With patience, the right techniques, and consistent care, you can transform even the most challenging soil into a garden paradise. If this helped you see your soil in a new light, smash that subscribe button and share this with fellow gardeners who might be struggling with their soil. Together, we're building a community of soil stewards who understand that healthy soil is the foundation of everything we grow. Drop a comment below and let me know about your soil transformation journey. I love hearing your success stories. Keep growing, keep learning, and remember, healthy soil, healthy plants, healthy planet.